Good morning to all and welcome to the session, the Hindu Editorial Analysis for Proficiency in English. I would like to start the session with a nice quote. What is today's quote? Real change, enduring change, happens one step at a time. Change is inevitable. We cannot stop change. And once Charles Darwin said, nothing is constant in this world except the constant change. And this change, real and enduring, enduring means lasting for a long time, happens one step at a time. It does not happen overnight. It doesn't happen just like that. So one should have patience for that positive change. A very useful quote, especially while preparing for competitive exams. Now let us have a look at today's editorial. It is all about Commonwealth Games and the medals won by Indian athletes. From the editorial, you are going to improve your grammar, comprehension, vocabulary, effective English, contextual awareness. Besides, you are going to work on practice questions based on exam topics. And today you are going to work on spot the errors, phrases, fillers, double fillers, and idioms. Now let us go to the editorial vocabulary. A lot of words are there. What is this? One article is enough or read? No, you cannot, you don't have to read all the articles. One article, short editorial is more than enough. That itself takes a lot of time. So, what is the first word? Allure. Allure can be a noun, can be a verb. What does it mean? The quality of being powerfully and mysteriously attractive or fascinating. Allure means to attract or charm. Attractive or fascinating, an important word. Eluding, you should not get confused between the two. Elude is a verb, illusion, noun. Suggest or call attention to indirectly. Allusion means indirect reference to something. Yardstick, another important word, noun, a standard used for comparison. A standard, when you want to compare, there should be some standard that is known as yardstick. A notch below, an important idiomatic expression. What does it mean? A little lower in quality than someone or something. A notch below, not up to the mark, a little lower in quality. Yield, it could be a verb, it could be a noun. It has different meanings. As a noun, an amount produced of an agricultural or industrial product. In this context, medals. Tale, part of speech noun, a fictitious or true narrative or story. You can remember tale means a story. H, part of speech verb, to produce something such as pattern or design on a hard material. When you produce a design on some hard material, by pressing hard into that, that is known as etching. Quadrennial, part of speech adjective, you can easily make out. Recurring every 4 years. Something happens once in 4 years, then we use the word quadrennial. Disparate, you should not get confused between desperate and disparate. Desperate, badly in need of something. But here, disparate, part of speech adjective, essentially different in kind, not able to be compared. Simply you can remember disparate means different. Glory, part of speech noun, high renown or reputation or honor won by notable achievements. Because of your achievements, you win honor, then we say glory. Vigor, we have got many a time. Effort, generally we say strong and healthy, vigor. Another meaning in this context, effort, energy, and enthusiasm. Haul, it could be a noun, it could be a verb. It means pull or drag with effort or force. That is one meaning. In this context, it means something like draw. Hall, it goes with medals in this context, winning or getting the medals with a lot of effort, obviously. Diligence I use regularly. One meaning hardworking. It also means careful and persistent work or effort. Exploitation, negative word. But here, exploits, noun, exploits singular, exploits plural. As a noun, it has a positive connotation. What does it mean? Vigor, you can also think of the word robust. Exploits means a bold or daring feat. Bold or daring feat, exploit, plural exploits. Derail. Usually this goes with going off the track. It goes with a train or tram to leave its tracks accidentally. Derailment is a noun form. Cherish something. Hold something dear. You like something, something happened in the past, let's say your childhood. Whenever you think of it, you feel very happy. Then you say, I cherish my childhood. Then siblings, an important, not that important, I'm sure you guys know. Noun, each of two or more children or offspring having one or both parents in common, a brother or sister, sibling, and you have to recollect the expression sibling rivalry, fights between the siblings. Demise, part of speech noun, a person's death generally takes the word sudden. Sudden demise means sudden death of someone. Redemption, an important word, part of speech noun, the action of saving or being saved from sin, error, or evil. Redemption. Reiterate, I use regularly. Say something again or a number of times, typically for emphasis or clarity. Reiterate something, say many a time. Encore, an important word we have got for the first time. It goes with effective English. Usually, it goes with a performance, a repeated or additional performance of an item at the end of a concert as called for by an audience. Audience want something again, then we use encore, a repeat. Annex is a verb, add as an extra or subordinate part, especially to a document, but in this context, getting the medals. I'm sure you guys know the word fragile. From that, you get fragility, noun form, the quality of being easily broken or damaged. Something can be easily broken or damaged. We use the word fragile, fragility. Crunch, a crucial point or situation, typically one at which a decision with important consequences must be made. A crucial situation, you can remember that way. Crunch. Effuse, effusively, part of speech adverb, showing or expressing gratitude, pleasure, or approval in an unrestrained or heartfelt manner. You appreciate someone in an heartfelt manner, then we use praise effusively. Hold in good stead. This is an idiomatic expression. In today's editorial, there are two idioms. Hold in good stead. To be useful or helpful to someone or something. A lot of words and two idioms, very useful. Today's editorial. Now let us go to editorial. The editorial. How does it start? As I said, this is all about Commonwealth Games. What are Commonwealth Games? What is Commonwealth? And if you take Commonwealth Games, who participate? What are the countries that participate in Commonwealth Games? Those countries which were ruled by the Britishers or the UK, they come under Commonwealth countries and they all participate. Then we use the term Commonwealth Games. The former colonies of the United Kingdom of Great Britain. So, shared history, if you look into the past, if you look at history, then shared history, common history, all these countries ruled by the UK. What is the main idea of this editorial? India did well at the Commonwealth Games, that is increasingly losing its allure. Something positive, something negative. India did well. This is an important expression. One of the reasons why is it important, if you ask me, usually people make a mistake. They tend to say he did good. Good is an adjective. Here we cannot use adjective, we have to use a adverb. Well is an adverb. He did well, India did well. So, common error, people tend to use good, that is not correct. India did well at the Commonwealth Games. That is increasingly, that talks about Commonwealth Games losing its allure. There's one important word, allure. Allure could be a noun, it could be a verb. The quality of being powerfully and mysteriously attractive or fascinating. You can also think allure means attract or charm. The Commonwealth Games alluding to a happily ever after between England and its former colonies may have its legacy issues. The sentence talks about the Commonwealth Games alluding to, an important word, the noun form is allusion. means what? Suggest or call attention to indirectly or refer to something indirectly. Alluding to, in this context, refer to something indirectly, alluding to a happily ever after. Britishers ruled us, so obviously there should be some sort of strain when it comes to the relations between the UK and other countries. But it refers indirectly to a happily ever after. After the colonization, after the imperialism, happily ever after between England and its former colonies may have its legacy issues. Though now they have cordial relations, they may have legacy issues. That's a different thing. And in terms of the competitive yardstick, there's one important word: yardstick. Means what? A standard used for comparison. Yardstick in sports, yardstick in studies or academics, a standard used for comparison. And in terms of the competitive yardstick, with the obvious absence of the United States of America, Russia, and China, the Commonwealth Games is considered a notch below the Olympics and the Asian Games. Here it talks about major games, major sports events. If you take the number one is the Olympics. After that, we have Asian Games. Then we have Commonwealth Games. Now, the sentence talks about the Commonwealth Games in terms of the competitive yardstick, the Commonwealth Games with the obvious absence. Obvious means clear, something that goes without saying. Obvious absence of. Usually, if you take the Olympics, the countries which get maximum number of medals, the US, China, and Russia. And these three don't come under the Commonwealth. Based on their absence, obviously it is not of the same standards. The Commonwealth Games considered a notch below the Olympics and the Asian Games. There's one important idiomatic expression, a notch below. What does it mean? A little lower in quality than someone or something. So, an important idiom you have to remember. And also, here there's one word, considered. A common error after the verb consider, you should not use as. A lot of people say it is considered as the best, not correct. It is considered the best. That rule you have to recollect. Yet, though it is a notch below, yet here it expresses a contrast. It is a notch below the Olympics and the Asian Games, yet the Commonwealth Games has a certain value in being a multinational quadrennial event. Quadrennial happens once in 4 years. It has a certain value, obviously, has a certain value in being a multi-nation. Many countries participate, all the former colonies. Quadrennial event that pits. Here, pits means pit. General word, everyday English. That's a different thing. But here, pit means place against. It goes with competition. It goes with sports. Pits a disparate group of countries. Another important word here, disparate. You should not get confused between desperate and disparate. What is the difference? Desperate, badly in need of something, and disparate, different in kind. Disparate group of countries split by continents and fused by, separated by continents and united by a shared past, former colonies of the UK linked to the British Empire or imperialism or colonies, former colonies. It means the Commonwealth Games, it offers athletes one more shot at glory, an opportunity, one more opportunity at glory. There's one important word, glory. What does it mean? High reputation or renown or honor won by notable achievements. You achieve something that is great, then it results in glory. Besides, inspiring their fans to pursue sport with added vigor. It offers an opportunity, that is one thing, besides inspiring their fans to pursue sport with added vigor. And looking at the achievements, a lot of people get inspired and they try to pursue the sport with added vigor. Vigor has got two different meanings: one, strong and healthy. You can also think of the word robust. And another meaning of the word in this context of vigor, effort, energy, and enthusiasm. In the latest edition that concluded at Birmingham on Monday, India with a medal haul. Haul actually it has a lot of meanings. A typical meaning, it means pull or drag something with force or effort. But here, winning the medals, a medal haul of 61, inclusive of 22 golds, India was placed fourth, while Australia, host England, and Canada led the charts. The top three countries, Australia, the host England, and Canada, the fourth position went to India. With shooting excluded, they did not include shooting. With shooting excluded from the Commonwealth Games, India lost out on an additional yield. Had they included, they would have got more medals, but because it was excluded, they could not get. The sentence talks about that. With shooting excluded from the Commonwealth Games, India lost out on an additional yield. Yield has got two different meanings. One is positive, the other is negative. What is the positive meaning? Yield, an amount produced of an agricultural or industrial product. In this context, also, it is positive. What is a negative meaning? Yield means to give in or surrender. That has a negative connotation. Most Indian medals told a tale etched by hope. Here there are two words. Tale means you can remember simply a story, a fictitious or true narrative or story. And etch, it goes with usually a kind of creative work to produce something such as a pattern or design on a hard material, usually a thin metal plate. Then we use the word etch. Tale, most Indian medals told a tale etched by hope. Diligence I use regularly. Two meanings. One meaning hardworking, diligent person. Another meaning careful and persistent work or effort. And hard work, obviously. And now editorial gives the examples. Indian athletes who won, who won the medals. If Sharad Kamal's table tennis exploits, you got to be careful. The word exploit usually has a negative connotation. Exploit someone, take advantage of someone's vulnerable position and do something to that person, harm that person, exploitation. But here the word exploit is a noun, singular, exploits plural. It has a positive connotation. What does it mean? Exploits means a bold or daring feat. If Sharad Kamal's table tennis exploits, even at 40, proved that sports persons can fight the dimming light, fag end of the career, weightlifter Sanket Sargar's silver in the men's 55 kg segment showed that financial difficulties cannot derail a focused athlete. Usually, people try to give a lot of excuses, but if someone is focused, it could be in the field of sports, field of competitive exams, field of academics. A focused person cannot derail himself, will not be derailed. So here the sentence talks about Sanket Sargar's silver in the men's 55 kg segment showed that financial difficulties or financial hardships cannot derail a focused athlete. They'll be focused irrespective of the problems. 4 years ago, Sanket used to sell pan from a tiny shop at Sangli in Maharashtra, and his is a story that needs to be cherished. Another important word, don't ask me questions, Shiva. Try to listen to the analysis, and you cannot question me why I take, why I don't take. I have my own reasons, and don't try to question. That is not a good thing. And here you are supposed to focus on the editorial analysis. I'm doing it very seriously, and all of a sudden you try to question, and I don't have to answer your question. Please remember that. Cherish, hold something dear. You like something, when you think of that, you feel very happy. Then we say cherished moments. Similar is a personal history linked to weightlifter Anchita Shirley, who won gold in 73 kg division. Another story, hardships, in spite of the hardships, getting success, who won gold in 73 kg division. Achinta, his brother Alok and mother did embroidery for survival. In spite of that background, those hardships, he could win the medal. The sibling, an important word, each of two or more children or offspring having one or both parents in common. You can simply remember brother or sister. The siblings also worked in the fields, fighting poverty and coping with the demise of their father. Demise means a sudden death, a person's death, usually sudden. So here, siblings an important word you have to recollect the expression sibling rivalry. Sibling rivalry. And demise means death, but generally it takes the word sudden demise of their father. All these are hardships or problems. Like Sanket, Anchita's too is a story of hope and redemption. Achintas, I'm sorry. Story of hope and redemption. Redemption, another important word. The action of saving or being saved from sin, error, or evil, or something like a bad thing. If fresh athletes caught the eye with their triumph over tough circumstances, the established ones reiterated their dominance too. Here, there are two types of sports athletes, sports persons. Fresh athletes, one category, and established ones, senior players or established players, the other category. If fresh athletes caught the eye with their triumph over tough circumstances against the hardships, the established ones or the seasoned players reiterated their dominance too. Reiterate, say something again or a number of times, typically for emphasis or clarity. To substantiate that statement, a few examples. PV Sindhu, who will now be counted among India's greatest ever athletes, won gold in the badminton women's singles, while her male counterpart we have got many a time, of the same level or position, Lakshya Sen did an encore. Sindhu got the gold medal. Lakshya Sen also got the gold medal. He did an encore. Encore, an important word. What does it mean? A repeated or additional performance of an item at the end of a concert as called by an audience. In this context, repetition of something. Sindhu won the gold, repetition of that. Lakshya Sen also won the gold. Fresh territories were annexed, means fresh fields. Annex usually goes with war and also goes with documents. Add as an extra or subordinate part, especially to a document. But annexation also goes with war and grabbing land. Fresh territories were annexed too. As in a field always dominated by the Africans, Avinash Sable won silver in the men's 3,000 meter steeplechase. Steeplechase hurdles, they usually go with Africans. But here, contrary to that, the regular thing, Avinash Sable won silver in the men's 3,000 meter steeplechase. Boxer Nikat Zareen again landed a solid punch per women power. She got gold, while her colleague Lovelina Borgoine's failure and the issues surrounding her personal coach in the lead up to the Commonwealth Games revealed fault lines. There are two boxers. One is Nikat Zareen, the other one Lovelina. And here Nikat Zareen got the gold medal, but the other one, Lovelina, could not failed in the sense she could not get the gold medal. And the reason for that, the issues surrounding her personal coach in the lead up to the Commonwealth Games, and this revealed fault lines. Means some problems are there. Medals were secured in hockey and women's cricket, but they were not gold, and the respective squads or teams displayed fragility in crunch situations. When it comes to hockey and cricket, no doubt they got the medals, but they could not get the gold medals. And one of the reasons for that, the editorial opines, the respective teams, in this context, it means teams, displayed fragility and in crunch situations. There are two words over here, one fragility, fragile, the quality of being easily broken or damaged, and the other one crunch, a crucial point or situation, typically one at which a decision with important consequences must be made. That sport is not always war minus the shooting. Usually, sport, people fight a lot, they become passionate. That sport is not always war minus the shooting. It is like a war without shooting, minus the shooting. That sport is not always war minus the shooting was evident when Neeraj Chopra effusively praised Pakistan's Arshad Nadeem, who won gold in the men's javelin. So one athlete, Indian athlete praising Pakistani athlete, that is definitely something positive. And it is not always, it indicates that the sport is not always war minus the shooting. And this was evident when Neeraj Chopra effusively praised. There is one important word here, effusively. Showing or expressing gratitude, pleasure, or approval in an unrestrained or heartfelt manner. In this context, praising the Pakistani counterpart in an heartfelt manner. The latest success in the Commonwealth Games should hold the Indian athletes in good stead. There is one important idiom over here, hold in good stead means to be useful or helpful to someone or something. So the success, latest success, getting the fourth position, a lot, 22 medals, gold medals, and total tally of 61 medals, something highly appreciable. The latest success in the Commonwealth Games should hold the Indian athletes in good stead as they prepare for next year's Asian Games in China. So they can start with a positive attitude with a lot of enthusiasm and spirit. That's all about today's editorial. Now let us go to comprehension skill. How can you or what can you improve based on this editorial? Questions based on comprehension. What is this editorial about? You should write it is an inspiring editorial. What is considered a notch below? Keywords, the Olympics and the Asian Games. Again, easy to write. What did most Indian medals tell? The Indian medals told something. So, what did most Indian medals tell? Whose story is a story of hope and redemption? Someone's story is a story of hope and redemption. Whose story is it? You have to write. What revealed fault lines in the context of the editorial? In the context of the editorial, something revealed or disclosed or made public fault lines. What is that? You have to write. Now, before we go to practice questions based on exam topics, I have launched two courses. One, General English for all SSC exams. The course fee is actually 2,000. Now there's an offer. It is only 1,000, 50% off. And the course validity 1 year, medium of instruction English, and time slot is 11:30 a.m. Today is the last day for that offer. And the other course, English for bank exams, not live, recorded, 50% off, and 2,000 you can purchase for 1,000. More information, you can call me on 7032325590. Now let us go to practice questions based on exam topics. My pleasure, don't you? Thank you very much. That shows how, to what extent you are interested, enthusiastic. That is a good thing. Please read question number one. Spot the errors. We have already submitted our application and expect to receive our license in 30 days. Read the sentence carefully, meticulously, and tell me where the error is. See, I understand your pain, your anguish, and your disappointment, the editorial sessions not being regular off late. There are certain reasons. Unless and until there's a strong reason, I don't skip the editorial analysis session. And you can't expect every day to be Sunday. Every day is not a Sunday. You should remember that. Sometimes we may take a break, we may not be regular. You have to wait with patience. And without a strong reason, because I'm doing this as a service to enrich your knowledge, without a strong reason, I will not skip. You should tell yourself there must be a strong reason. Let us wait with the fingers crossed and be positive. That is a positive attitude, and questioning is not a good thing. No, we have already submitted our application. We have already submitted and we expect and expected, no, and expect to receive our license in 30 days. Answer is no error. We have already submitted our application. That is one clause. After that, what are we doing or what do we do? And because we have already submitted our application, we expect to receive our license in 30 days. Nothing wrong with the sentence. There is no error whatsoever. You cannot use expected. Expected goes into past, but here we have already submitted. It is in present perfect. It should go into future. We expect to receive our license in 30 days. No error. That's very good, Nagaraju. One student says no error. Question number two. As the price of gold is higher, you should keep your jewelry in a locker. J can be a small, should be a small letter. As the price of gold is higher, you should keep your jewelry in a locker. Where is the error? No one has responded. Yes, I do understand, Madhavi, eagerly waiting for your videos, sir. I do understand, but sometimes priorities. Students think it could be a technical issue, it could be a health issue, but more than these two, sometimes what happens, priorities. Priorities are very important. Based on priorities, sometimes we may not take. That you should understand. Very good. Who is this? Dontu and Bharadwaj, and after that, Satish also and Srinivas. Wonderful. Here we are not comparing. Based on that, we cannot use a comparative form. We have to simply say high. As the price of gold is high, you should keep your jewelry in a locker. That's it. So, what is this question about? It is about word forms. Higher is not the right form because it is not comparing. High is a right word. You guys got it right. That's very good. Let us go to question number three. To be an effective manager, it is vital to know the goals and vision of your organization. This is not that easy. You got to read meticulously, only then you will be able to answer. To be an effective manager, then you have to recollect the difference between affect and effect. To be an effective manager, it is vital to know the goals and vision of your organization. No, visions we don't use in the plural form. Who is this? Vijay Kumar. Whenever we talk about a corporate entity or a big company, usually we use two words. One is vision and the other one is mission. All the big companies, the corporate entities, they start with the vision. They have a vision and they state the mission, how to achieve that vision. Vision is a dream, what they want to achieve, and mission is how they want to achieve it, the means. But here there is an error. No error is not correct. What is the error? To be an effective manager, no problem. It is vital too. It is important too. It is crucial too. No problem. Know the goals, specific goals, and the vision of your organization. It is something specific. Based on that, we have to use the goals of your organization and the vision of your organization. We have to use a definite article, the vision of your. Generally, we say, what is vision of your company? We don't say that. We say, what is the vision? What is the mission of your company? What is the vision of your company? So here, the should be there. Visions is not correct. We cannot use it in the plural form. Now let us go to question number four. The state government has issued licenses to farmers, allowing them to sell its vegetables to hotels. An easy one. This is based on let one student, at least one student respond. Then I will give the answer. The state government has issued licenses to farmers, allowing them to sell its vegetables to hotels. Exactly. Who is this Satish Kumar? The state government has issued present perfect tense, no problem. Licenses to farmers, no problem. Allowing them here to farmers has issued licenses to farmers. It's the object. Allowing them to sell here we have to use the pronoun, possessive pronoun, their vegetables. What is the reason? Object farmers is in the plural form. And this is about, I have been telling you guys, object pronoun agreement. Generally, students focus on subject verb agreement. No doubt that is very important. But besides subject verb agreement, there are two more things we have to remember: object pronoun agreement, subject pronoun agreement. But here, the state government is a subject, has issued. Issued what? Licenses, indirect object, and farmers, direct object. Here it is object pronoun agreement, an important question. To increase the selling of products in rural areas, the company will hire over 500 trainees. An easy one should not be that difficult, but you got to read meticulously. To increase the selling of products in rural areas, the company will hire over 500 trainees. Where is the error? Here we cannot say to increase the selling, the sales. We have to say the sales of the products, not selling. Selling is not the right word. What are we supposed to say? The sales. To increase the sales of sale also you can say. Either sale or sales. Either way it is acceptable. Do remember. To increase the sales or to increase the sale of products in rural areas, the company will hire over 500 trainees. So it is based on word form. What is the question about? It is related to word forms. Oh, thank you very much, Vijay Kumar. In English, there are certain things we have to consider. When it comes to a particular company, any company has only one vision and one mission. But when it comes to goals, we can use a plural form. Goals can be many. Where is this? I appreciate your questions, don't you? To increase the sale or sales of products in rural areas. Here, rural areas, it is a plural noun, areas plural noun. Plural nouns, generally speaking, don't take any article, but specific we have to use. Here, rural areas, general, plural noun, no article. For example, computers are useful. Computers, plural noun, general statement, computers are useful. We cannot say the computers are useful. But plural noun specific, then we have to use a definite article, the. Where are the computers? Specific. That's the reason why here we don't have to use the. The is not required. I hope you got it, don't you? Please respond. Now let us go to the next set of questions. Phrase replacement. Budget hotels are being set up across the country to provide travelers with accommodation at reasonable rates. I think there is a time lag of 20 seconds. Dontu has not responded for the explanation I have given. Now I see. Budget hotels are being set up. Now, what is this being set up? Whenever you see the word being, and after that there's a verb, if that verb is in past participle form, here set, then you have to think of passive voice. And being goes with continuous tenses. Which continuous tense is this? Are being set up. Present continuous. Present continuous passive voice. Who is this? Nagaraju, very good. Dontu also very good. And Sai Kumar, no correction required. Wonderful. That's highly appreciable. We are setting up hotels across the country. Active voice, present continuous. Passive voice, budget hotels are being set up by us understood. Budget hotels are being set up across the country. Why? To provide travelers with accommodation at reasonable rates. Here, answer is no correction required. Directly the meeting commenced, then the board called for the chairman's resignation. At the outset, you should understand this is not acceptable. Directly the meeting commenced, then the board. It doesn't sound correct. No sooner, when you see no sooner, two things you have to consider. One, the clause should be in the interrogative form. Had the meeting commenced, it is an interrogative. And you have to look for the word than, no sooner than, one combination. As soon as the meeting commenced, when? No. Hardly did the meeting commence. You hardly, scarcely, barely, we have to look for the word when you don't see that. Soon after the meeting commences, no. What is the answer? Answer is the first option. No sooner had the meeting commenced than the board called for the chairman's resignation. Simple as that. But to get the correct option, you have to know no sooner than and the interrogative form you have to cross check. And also you have to recollect hardly, scarcely, barely. We use the word when is not there. Other options don't make any sense. Question number three. The director said that he did not want to see neither of the student who had failed and ordered them to leave. Here at the outset, you have to reject the given option. What is the reason? Neither of the students, it should be in the plural form, not singular form. Based on that, that is not correct. None of the students we can consider. One of the student, common error, noun should be in the plural form. Each of the students, it should be in the plural form, not correct. It should be either the first one or the fourth one. What is the answer? The director said that he did not want to see. Very good. No, no, I don't think so. None of the students, it is not correct. The director said that he did not want to see any of the students who had failed. Not none of the students who had failed. Any of the students who had failed. Answer is there's a better expression. Any of them. I don't want to see any of them. Generally, conversational English also we say, I don't want to see, we don't say I don't want to see none of them. We say, I don't want to see any of them. Based on that answer is the third one. I think only one student, Nagaraju, has got it right. After that, Tapa also got it right. Bharadwaj, very good. And Dontu. Not an easy one. Under pressure. Question number four. He was determined in completing the project despite opposition from the union. An easy one should not be that difficult. He was determined in completing or to complete. What will you say? He was determined in completing, not correct. To complete, for completion, not correct. About completed. He was determined to complete the project despite opposition from the union. Answer is the second option, an easy one. That's why I did not wait for your response. The last question based on phrase replacement pattern. In his speech, he failed to emphasize the only great reason why government programs have not benefited the poor. This is a bit difficult under pressure, but if you look at it very carefully, understand the context, you will be able to get the correct option. In his speech, he failed to emphasize the only great reason. That doesn't sound right. In his speech, he failed to emphasize the only great reason. No. We don't use only in this context, not required. The you have to use a superlative form. Based on that, answer is the first option. In his speech, he failed to emphasize the greatest reason why government programs have not benefited the poor. Only greatest reason, no, no, we cannot use only first of all. Answer is the first option. Exactly. The greatest reason, superlative. Now we have the next set. Fillers, double fillers. Actually, this is sync model. What is this? Sync model. What is sync model? You see two sentences, each with a blank. Then you have five words. You have to select one word which goes with both the sentences. And when you use that particular word, grammatically, contextually, meaning wise, the sentence is correct or both the sentences are correct. Now choose the right word that goes with both the sentences. Governments in these countries should create education systems since good schools, the bulk of people entering the workforce will not have the skills they need. Since lack good schools, missing deficient, without. Exactly. Here it looks like without. Now let us go to without is the one that goes with the first sentence. We cannot process color, details of rapid changes in our surroundings without the cone-shaped cells packed around the center of the retina. It goes with the second one as well. Answer is the fourth option. You guys got it right. Japan is investing in strengthening bonds with Asian countries with Japanese countries recently won a $370 million contract to start a new underground railway system in Jakarta. To start what? Construction takes the preposition of construction of, manufacture, launch a new, to start launch, not correct. To start assembly, to start building a new, let us hold that one. Here, won a $370 million contract to start building a new. Seems right. The cost of building space vehicles, you cannot say the cost of manufacture. You have to say the cost of manufacturing. Based on that, you cannot consider the cost of construction of is not there. The cost of launch doesn't go with the context. Assembly, no. Answer is the fifth option. Good. A troubled student and his PhD guide, a way for websites to reduce the incidence of spam, which troubled internet users in the 2000s. One of the biggest drawbacks of concrete is that it often develops cracks, and scientists have now, we need a verb, and that verb should be in the past participle form. Based on that, you can eliminate all these, but you can consider either second one or fourth one. Based on the context, guide thought a way for websites. Guide devised, this seems right. Yes, you cannot be hasty. Oh, Prasads, you are there. You have to be very cautious and you got to read meticulously. Obviously, the answer is the second option. Devised a way for websites, one thing, and now devised self-healing concrete. Answer is the second option. No, no, we need the verb in the past participle form. Based on that, you cannot use develop, you cannot use create, you cannot use invent, not correct. Question number 4. Politicians have promised to the goal eradicating extreme poverty. Reserve Bank hopes that a cut in its benchmark rate will achieve, promise to achieve, seems right. Promise to get, will get a reduction. Grammatically, no problem. Promise to end the goal, eradicating, no. Will end a reduction. To finish the goal, these words don't go with the context, especially the first sentence. Undertake the goal, will undertake a reduction, not relevant. It should be either the first one or the second one. Based on the context, we have to use a positive word like achieve, not a simple word like get. Achieve something, it talks about a goal. Goal, we use the word achieve. And also achieve a reduction in inflation. Answer is the first option. Undertake cannot be used. Now, the last question. According to some experts, subsidizing crop insurance to a large extent may be bad for the environment since farmers may take danger, chance, possibility, risks, threats, such as farming on floodplains or steep hills. In the 1990s, Germany was known as the sick man of Europe and had high unemployment, but its success today is on the account of the huge risks it took in reforming the labor market. Answer is a fourth option. Farmers may take risks, right? and Germany on the account of the huge risks. We cannot use other words that don't go with the context. Now let us go to the last slide. We still have 10 minutes to go. Idioms, fall prey to. What is the meaning of he fell prey to, she fell prey to, fall prey to? I will wait for at least one student has to respond, then I will give the answer. Fall prey to. No one has responded. So fall prey to means what? We cannot say that. Usually it depends. You never know. Usually prelims easy and junior assistant questions are easy, PO higher level. But these are not that difficult in my opinion. Moderate, all these are moderate questions. Only thing you have to read meticulously and you have to be a little, you should have patience. You should not try to answer in a hurry. In my opinion, they are not tough questions. To become a victim, answer is the third one. Every dog has its day. We use in everyday English. Everyone has a time of success and satisfaction. Every dog has its day. Dark horse, usually it is used election time. Dark horse, usually little known person who unexpectedly wins or succeeds. US elections, Trump was a dark horse. Cry wolf, they have given many a time, especially SBI. Do remember this, to ask for help when there is really no danger. Raise false alarm. Cash cow, an important expression, someone or something that generates a steady return of profits. Have you got all the five correct? If you say yes, sir, that's wonderful. Great. Now let us go to the last slide. Editorial vocabulary, enrich your word power from today's editorial. Allure, it could be a noun, it could be a verb. What does it mean? Ah, that's wonderful, Prasads. Be happy, today is your day. Highly appreciable. That's really good, Tapa. I appreciate. So, allure, part of speech, it could be a noun, it could be a verb. What does it mean? Allure, attract or charm. Something that attracts, charms, something that is fascinating. Answer is C. Alluding. Allude is a verb, allusion, noun. So, what does it mean? Call attention to something indirectly. Answer is F. Yardstick, an important word, part of speech, noun, used when it comes to comparison. Standard used for comparison. Answer is H. A notch below, that is an idiomatic expression, means what? Someone's performance is a notch below, a little lower in quality than others. Answer is J. Oh, you guys are still with the third one. Let someone answer the fourth one, then we can continue from there. Black mamba. Oh, deadly, a deadly snake. Deadliest, rather, the deadliest. Yield can be a noun, it can be a verb. It has a positive connotation, it has a negative connotation. In this context, yield means what? Amount produced, but here not exactly amount, medals achieved. Answer is A. The negative meaning of the word yield, to surrender or to give in. Disparate, an important word, you should not get confused between desperate and disparate. Disparate, part of speech adjective. What does it mean? Different, essentially different in kind, not the same, not homogeneous, heterogeneous. Answer is B. Glory, part of speech, noun. No, someone has gone to the ninth one. High honor won by notable achievements. You achieve something with a lot of effort and you get recognition, reputation, then high honor, we use the word glory. Answer is D. Vigor, part of speech, adjective. Two meanings. One, healthy and strong. In this context, the second meaning, effort, energy, and enthusiasm. Answer is I. With a lot of vigor, with a lot of enthusiasm. Diligence means what? What are you left with? Careful and persistent effort. Answer is it is noun. Exploits. Again, you got to be careful. Exploit as a verb negative, exploit as a noun positive. Plural form exploits. St- Bold and daring feats. Answer is G. Has anyone got all the 10 correct? If you say yes, that is again highly appreciable. So that's all for today. It's 8:56. Thanks for being with me. And do remember, based on priorities, based on technical issues, I don't want to mention health issues. That happens rarely. Technical issues also rarely. Priorities sometimes happens based on the timing. I may not take a few days. Wait with a lot of patience, wait with your fingers crossed, and be positive. I hope you guys have got enriched. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. And do remember to subscribe and share. After the session, go to the description of the video. And there are two links. One, Murthy's English, the Telegram group. The other one, to download my app, there is a link. You can download my app and get an idea about the courses I offer. And I may provide the PDF of this, but where and when I'm going to tell. Before I wind up the session, please listen to me. Evening, there's one more session in the evening at 6 o'clock. It is all about IBPS prelims, IBPS clerk prelims mock test explanation. So if you guys want to attend that mock test, it is going to be in the evening at 6 o'clock, a live session, IBPS prelims mock test, IBPS clerk prelims mock test.